All right, Sarah here. Chris and I just got back from Maitreya Mountain Village. Went down the I-5 with our dog River. Stopped in Portland. Saw Pal's Books. Met with Dan and Melanie. They got a puppy at a gas station on our way to the mountain deep in the forest. And it was awesome. I mean, really clear air, clear water. We drank the rainwater. We drank the water from the stream. Filled them in buckets. Caught the rainwater in buckets. Put it in glass jars. Lived in a sauna at night. Learned how to build fires. Built a labyrinth of raised beds and a yoga platform. Built a bonfire and used compost toilets. It's great. I mean, basically, you just like human manure. It's like gold soil. Amazing. Great resource. Just shit in a bucket. Fill all your other food waste in there, and wait 2 years, and it's great. You grow vegetables out of it. But then, oh yeah, we went to town, and Dan and Melanie got another puppy to play with the other one. So we had Bo, River, Peanut, and Cubit. Then Dan and Melanie went out of town, and they were like, Dan went to Alaska and Melanie went to San Francisco. So it was just me and Chris and the doggies. And so Chris and I were moving a bunch of logs, and then it was like pretty awesome, but then it got pretty not awesome because I was trying to save all the snails and all the lizards from getting smashed when we were like throwing the logs around. And then there was this really big lizard that I didn't save, and somehow we were moving this crate, and it just like got his side, and his guts were like falling out, and then it was just like it was awful. It was like a really bad day. I just started like bawling, and Chris buried it in the labyrinth. I mean, it was really awful because the day, like just before that, I was starting to be like, man, we're tearing up the earth. Like, look at all these dead trees. And then that happened, and I was like, oh, like man, I feel just like the bad guy from the lab or from Ferngully. But then it got worse because while I was feeding River, I realized that I gave her too much food. So I took away the bowl, and I didn't see the puppy was there, and River just snapped back and just chomped Cubit's head like super fast. So fast that her eyeball popped out, and she ran into the RV screaming, yelping, and Chris and I were like, holy shit, what just happened? We're in the middle of the forest. What are we gonna do? So we got in the car and drove as fast as we could into town, and we were just freaking out the whole time. And then we would call Dan, and he says, you know, you just like, if it's gonna be permanent damage, then you have my permission to put her down. And we were like, oh my goodness. able to see out of that eye anymore. It got all stitched up, and then now it's all like cloudy and stuff. So we took her home, and we're calling her Geordi, named after that blind guy on Star Trek. Lab puppy right at my feet. Here she is, the one-eyed wonder. Wah! It's like boom, 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 boom. But anyway, she is getting along pretty well with River. That was a really awful accident, and now we got a new doggy friend. And we know how to build things. So, it's pretty good. And I missed you guys. And I love you. And I'm here. I'm back in Seattle, ready to roll. So, yeah, love you. Bye.